I remember when these whole attacks have started. I remember telling God, hey man, bad timing. Bad timing for what? You know, I said that the attacks have only started because the raptors, the demon incarnates, the Archons-driven people, they cannot stand the light. They cannot stand high frequency, high vibrational beings. And God turned on my light and my frequency, and He changed my frequency and turned on my light. And that's when I said, and especially now, the time when I still don't have the means. I don't have money. I have nothing, basically. And okay, in that regard, money. So that I have nothing. I have this place. I have me. I have my dogs. I have my chickens. I have. So so that is not what I'm talking about. I told, money wise, I live from the money. I stand in front of the supermarket and do trolley dienst. These wagons that you shopping wagons. I organize the shopping wagons at Lidl, and so when the people come, I give it to them, and then when they finish, I take them from them and put inside, and then they give me 20 cent, 1 cent, 50 cent, €1, €5. It depends on how generous they are in giving. And they buy me food for me and my dogs. Some give food, some give money. But now I don't take food anymore. I stopped 2 months ago taking food for me. I think 2 months ago or 3 months ago, I'm not sure. Taking food for me because I realized that every time I eat their food, I feel like vomiting afterwards. I have a feeling like there's something that doesn't belong in my system, that I need to get it out. But energetically, because I am an energy transmuter too. I transmute dense energy into pure light, negative energy into positive energy, low vibrational energy into high vibrational energy. So that is my way of digesting, transmuting that what they have smuggled in the food. Because I said that they are using witchcraft against me. They even plot a shaman next to me, turned as selling lottery, but standing next to me, and his aim is just to do witchcraft on me and to shut me down. If I could tell you many coincidences, what happened between me and him, and what happened on the spirit realm until on the physical realm, you will just go with your mouth like, huh, that is a book on its own. I would write a book on it. Only when I've come to settle down and I have enough energy for my battery, for my electricity for my laptop and so on. At the moment, I'm just living on a minimum basis. So when God unleash my potential and my abundance flow, and I've come to rest, I will write a book about this time, about my encounter with the raptors and the cause. That's for sure. My time at Little, that's for sure. My time here, wait up for that book. Yeah. And I still do live from the money that I get from Little, in front of Little, doing those things, trolley. Some are calling beggar. I'm not a beggar because I'm not saying, please give me money. Or I'm not sitting there with a shield. I have no job. I have no money. I need food. I'm just standing there giving them the trolley, and then they come, and then, or even if I just stand there, they know me by now that I need money. So who wants to give, he give. And sometimes they ask, how, what do you need? Do you need food, whatever? But now, like I said, since 3 months, I think I don't take food for me, because I realize that every time I eat food, because they're, like I said, smuggling voodoo in their food, cursing the food and struggling and whatever, and putting black magic on the food so that it can damage me. But it doesn't damage me because I can transmute that. For another person, it would have killed that person a long time ago. But I can transmute that. So the only side effects on transmuting that is feeling a little bit like I have to vomit, noisiness. I have to vomit. But I cannot vomit. It is because it is energetical. Sometimes my dogs vomit too. When I feel like that, sometimes they vomit it for me out. That's another thing, but that's very sad. That is very rare that it happened like that. But most of the time, and then I said, oh, okay, I don't take their food anymore. Since then, I didn't experience that. And then I saw my dogs, because I was still taking the dog food that they are buying for my dogs, and I was always seeing Buddy sitting like this. And I felt like this is the same feeling that he's feeling that I felt when I ate their food. So I stopped taking their food, their dog food that they're buying for my dogs. And since then, I don't see him doing that again. So now I just only take money. And even money, they want to put it in my hand, but I don't take it in my hand. Because when I take it in my hand, I also feel like I have to vomit, because it is energetically, because they have some curses and voodoo on that money that they've put on that money, and they want to put it in my hand. And then I said, no, I don't take it in my hand. I put it on a plate. They don't want to put it on the plate. They want to put it in my hand. They're saying, no, why don't take it in your hand? I said, like, why? I said, like, either put it in the plate, a donation box, or just take it with you. Huh? You don't tell me that I have to. You don't force me to take it in my hands. Anyway, they are busy trying to. They're working with everything, like I said, violent, the air pollution, the frequency that they do with the airplanes, and also my neighbor here got a horn, a big horn that she gets blow. Boo! The same one that they're using with the airplane, but she have it at home. So, and many other things. And then I told God, hey, listen, this is the wrong timing that you've turned me on. Turn my light on, not turn me on. Turn my light on. Get away from that. You're still human, right? Turn my light on and elevate my frequency, because you expose me. You make me vulnerable. That was my talk with God. You make me vulnerable. You know that I sit there, when I'm sitting in front of little, hoping for the money there, I'm vulnerable, because they are there. They are waiting for me there to kill me. They are waiting for me there, because they know sooner or later I will end up at Leader, and they are waiting for me there. They are preparing their money for me. I see this guy sitting there with the shaman who's standing there with selling the lottery. Apparently, it's just a town. Taking the coins, the €1 coins, and then he's holding him in the hand and going like this. And then I'm just observing them. He's just observing him, but he doesn't see that I'm observing him. So, and then he give it to the next moment. There is a lady comes, apparently wanting to buy the lottery, and she gets that money, and that she comes directly to me, and she wants to give it to me. And when sometimes I say no, thank you, I don't want it. Take it back. And then I see him going like, like bluffed. Why I don't want to take the money. Anyway, and then she persists, or he or she persists. Take, and want to force it on me. Take. So this is what I have to deal with. And also food-wise, I say, I don't want food for me and my dog. Why not? Take, take, take. Pushing it on me. They're getting angry when I don't want to take their food or their money. Anyway, and when I take the food, when I take their money, I put it, I said to put it in the plate. They put it in the plate after they fought with me, or sometimes they just throw it away like this one to me. When they throw it like that, I just leave it there, lying there. Those that I put in the plate, my hands of light. My spirit told me that you can neutralize whatever that is. Like disinfection with your light hands. Hold your hands on top of that money, and then that curse and that black magic is neutralized. So, and he sees that sometimes, and he doesn't, and he gets crazy. I see him getting to the raptor he is when I do that. Anyway, I said that, God, that's a bit timing. You expose me, you put me here in a vulnerable situation where the Gaia are just waiting for me, and the wolves are waiting for me to devour me. I'm in a vulnerable situation here. God says, why do you think your financial situation is the way it is? You are doing, that is light work. If you didn't had your financial situation like that, you will not come here and do this light work. You are doing, there is a big shift happening through you in this very moment, because you are doing that light work there. And if you didn't have that financial situation, you will not stand there willingly, because what you're experiencing there is also not funny. It's like when I finish there, I feel like I've moved mountains. When I come home, I feel like I really have moved mountains. Physically, I'm tired at times. Not all the time, but sometimes. You know, when you come from work and then you go like, I just want my rest. I just want to sit on my couch, want my rest. I just come home, just sit on my couch. The first thing that I do, I sage my house with frankincense, because that is what is helping against the raptors and archons and demons. And sometimes white sage. But every time I come from that occasion, I sage my house. And then afterwards, I meditate and then cleanse myself energetically. You know, this is a full-time job too, on its own. And then I feel good again and align again in my own energy, in my own space, and all good. But in all, I said, God, you exposed. Why did you put? It's the wrong timing that you turn my light on. God says, no, it is divinely orchestrated and divinely planned and divinely timed, and you are divinely possession, and you are divinely protected and guided. Fear nothing. And I don't feel nothing, really. I go there, I stand with my confidence, and I own the room, and I own that space. Till next time, stay blessed, stay in love, and stay in light.